One of the greatest time savers in any computer application is the ability to cut, copy, and paste contents. This can save you so much time as you never want to have to retype anything. So if things need to be moved around or you need duplicates of content somewhere else in a document or in another application for that matter, using cut, copy, and paste can be very handy. So that's what we're going to talk about in this lesson, and we're going to use the document we uploaded in the previous lesson, this one here called User Conference. You see it here in my Google Docs home. If you've got the exercise files and you're skipping to this lesson, just use your upload button to locate the userconference.rtf file in the exercise files folder. And when you upload it, it will actually open up in the word processing application. For me, I've already got it, so I'm going to click on it here in my Google Docs home. That opens it up. And there's the document as I left it last. Let's say we wanted to rearrange some of the items in our agenda. That's where cutting and pasting comes in handy. We remove it from one location and paste it in another. So down here under day 1, under lunch, notice guest speaker number 2 comes before exercise number 2. But up here in day 1, exercise number 1 seems to come before guest speaker number 1. That's the wrong order. So what I really want to do is remove guest speaker number 1 and pop it up here between the break and exercise number 1. So all I have to do is select the text that I want to remove by clicking and dragging across it. You can see that will select the text. I can go way out here and just the text on that line is selected. But if I also want the return, that line break, well, then I would just click and drag from the beginning of the G in guest and go straight down to the next line, which happens to be blank. And when I let go, notice guest speaker number 1 is selected, but so is all of this. That means that when I remove this and paste it up here, exercise number 1 will go down below it where it belongs. Watch this. We go up to the edit menu, and here's where we find cut, copy, and paste. Notice the keyboard shortcuts, Control X, Control C, and Control V. Now some browsers aren't going to let you paste using these commands. You may also notice in your browser you've got, under the edit menu, cut, copy, and paste here as well. And they are the same shortcuts. On the Mac, it's Command X, Command C, and Command V. On the PC, Control X, Control C, and Control V. So I'm just going to click out here, and from this edit menu, I am going to cut. Control X would also do the job. Removes it. Gone. Where? It's in memory. Now watch this. When I click in front of exercise number 1 and I go to paste it right here, I'm going to see that text that I cut plus the return, which means exercise number 1 should appear below what I'm about to paste. Now if I go up to this edit menu here, let's see what happens with Safari. If I come up here and choose paste, I get a message saying that my browser doesn't allow access to my computer's clipboard. Just a safety or security feature. Instead, I can use copy, cut, and paste from the edit menu above in my browser that I was showing you. So I click OK here. I also know the shortcut for me on the Mac is Command V, Control V if you're on a PC keyboard. Let's try that. Sure enough, there it is. Guest speaker shows up where it belongs. Exercise number 1 goes down below it. That is cutting and pasting when you want to change something's position, in this case text. Now we can also use copy and paste when we want duplicates of something. Down here for day 2, you can see it doesn't really look right. The formatting is off. I've typed in review of day 1 down here, but it might be easier if I just duplicate all of day 1 and type over whatever I need to change. So in that case, I'm going to click and drag from the beginning of day 1 down to the blank line below closing remarks, just to make sure I get this entire section. Now I'm going to copy. I could do a Control C or Command C. I could go up to the edit menu and choose copy from here. There's Control C, shortcut on the PC. That copies it. Now if I come down here and highlight day 2 plus the text I no longer need, I'm going to replace that with what I'm about to paste using Control V or Command V. Check it out. Now all I have to do is make a few changes. Click here after day 1, backspace, and type in a 2. Instead of introductions, I can double click on introductions and type review of day 1. Keynote speaker might be speaking on day 2 after the review. Sure enough, I'm going to leave it there. Then there's a break. See the stuff that I don't have to retype or re-enter. Now it's guest speaker number 3. So all I have to do is take out the 1 and put in a 3. And exercise number 3. Delete that. There we go. I think you've got the idea. So that's cutting, copying, and pasting. Of course, that will work with objects as well. If you've got photographs, for example, you can cut and copy and paste those objects. Tables, we'll be working with tables later on and show you some cutting and copying and pasting to save time there as well. So with all of these changes, we should save before we close this up. I'm going to choose Save and Close to do both at the same time. Save my changes. Takes me back to my Google Docs home, and that's cutting, copying, and pasting in Google Docs.